Well, hello, beautiful people, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Thandisa Mahe, and I talk all things relating to business, making money, and family life. Thank you so much for returning. If you're a returning subscriber, we appreciate the support that you continuously been showing to this channel. And if you're new to our channel, please consider subscribing by hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can be kept abreast of when we put out new content. Now, it is once again another Make Money Tuesday, and that means we are looking at ways in which you can be able to make more moolah for ourselves. We're looking at ways where we can be able to augment our incomes through side hustles, or even, improve on the business ideas that we have, or even start from scratch in terms of we don't even know what to do. So this is the platform, this is the day, this is the place where you get to actually learn how you can be able to improve on your pocket. Now, today we're talking about how you can be able to launch your online t-shirt printing business. There is no idea that I have come across that is as underrated as t-shirt printing is. And I don't really know why it has never gotten so much attention, but the potential of the business is quite amazing, because the thing is, people are always printing t-shirts all the time. Every day there are a lot of t-shirts that are printed. Then why don't you just hop on the idea, especially if you have a love, you're a creative, you're a designer. You don't even have to really be a designer, because there are ways around that. But if you've got a passion around printing, then you can be able to take this business idea and run with it. Step number one is you need to find a signature style for your t-shirt branding or t-shirt printing business. All right. There are two routes that you can be able to take here. You can either design from your end, or find designs yourself and find t-shirt printing inspirations yourself and sell those ready-made to people. The second route that you can be able to take is to decide to only print on demand. So basically, look at what people need at a specific time and print based on that. But you can also have a business that fuses the two together. And I think that's where you get the best value. That is just what I think. But even if you actually go any of these two, going with option number one or going with option number two, or going with an option where you fuse the two, you still need to decide your target market. You need to be specific. Are you making this t-shirt printing for churches? That's what you're going to focus on. For an example, I'm just making an example. Or are you going to do this t-shirt printing for soccer teams? I'm making an example. Or are you going to be printing this t-shirt, doing this t-shirt printing for children? And like children activities, children related activities like birthdays and parties and celebrations and things like that. But you need to first of all have a signature focus that your t-shirt printing business is going to just do. Do not be broad. Do not be generic. Do not be for everyone. You're going to do that when you're a big brand that has really grown, where you are able to take multiple streams of different categories of markets to satisfy. But when you are starting out, you need to find something, a signature, something that's going to make you stand out, something that's going to make you different, something that is going to make you unique, something that is going to attract your target audience to you. That's the first thing you need to do. Step number two is you need to decide on the type of printing that you're going to offer. T-shirt printing has got so many different ways of printing. There is printing using canvas. There is stick-on, like stickers type of printing. There is canvas printing, heat print, like when you use heat press on. There's so many things that you can actually do when it comes to printing. You need to find one or two areas of specialization that you are going to do, and this needs to align to the kind of signature that you want to come out into the market with, in terms of what your t-shirt brand is going to stand for, what your t-shirt brand is going to be all about. So what kind of printing will you offer? I know different places that have grown to a certain physical places now, not online, physical stores that actually offer printing. They do everything. And it's a mess. It can get to be a mess at times. There are people that have mastered it over years, but it can be a mess if you do not have a specific area that you're going to focus on, so that you can be able to target the specific people that are going to want the type of printing that you are offering, and not waste time with just advertising to everyone, because that makes little sense. Actually, that will really go deep in your pocket before you see a lot of results. Step number 3 is you need to invest in printing equipment. Now that you know who you're going to be focusing on, the type of printing that you're going to be offering, you also know who your target audience is, you now need to go and get a printing machine or printing machines that will be able to give you what you are hoping to offer. The printing machines must be able to have functionality that will deliver what you want to your customers. All right. So there are a lot of different machines. They range from 3,000 rands here in South Africa right up to 12,000 rand and above, 120,000 rand even, like the big industrial ones. So it really depends on where you are in terms of your resources. It also depends on what you'd like to achieve within what time frame, like your goals, your long-term goals, your short objectives that you want to achieve, your short-term objectives that you want to achieve, and things like that, as to how much you are willing to spend. That will determine the kind of machine that you are going to buy. But the next thing that you need to do is to have that machine. The next step that you now need to follow is to go and source a good, high quality t-shirt supplier. Right? You can offer a service in your business where, like, make this one an add-on, like a very not so primary add-on where people can bring their own t-shirts. But you are going to make a whole lot more money if you're able to source your own suppliers of t-shirts, right? And because you can be able to go out there and source these suppliers, you can be able to influence a lot of aspects of the kind of printing that you're going to do, the quality of the t-shirts, the price of the t-shirts, the feel of the t-shirts when people are wearing them, and so many different things. So you want to now go out and source suppliers of good quality t-shirts. Now, quality must be able to match price. So you can decide, but I think it will also go along with the kind of target audience you have in mind, who you're going to be selling to, in terms of whether you should go with really high-end t-shirts or just entry-level t-shirts. It's going to depend on who you are targeting. Are you targeting to resell your printed t-shirts at 500 rand per t-shirt, or are you trying to target at least 120 rand per t-shirt? So it depends on now the target audience in terms of the quality that you're going to go for, because you don't want to outsell yourself, like sell at no profit. You don't want to do that. You do not want to sell at a loss. That is not what you're looking for. So now make sure that you are able to source a high quality t-shirt supplier. The next thing that you want to do is to develop a name, a household brand name and a logo, or let me say a logo. A name and a logo. Now, these two things need to resonate with your style or the kind of brand you are trying to build. So it must not speak something else while what you are delivering is speaking something else. The languaging must be the same. The languaging must match. And you can make a lot of mistakes around the logo of the business and the brand that you are trying to build. You can make a lot of mistakes around that space, and the actions, the delivery of the materials, the service, everything. So sit down and decide, how do you want, and answer questions such as, how do you want the customer to feel when they engage with your brand? When people see your brand online, when they're scrolling in their phones, what do you want to get into their minds? What emotions do you want to invoke in them? What colors are you going to incorporate into the brand that speak to how you want them to feel, how you want your brand to be seen, how you want your brand to be recognized? What do you want your brand to be associated with? Those intimate things, you need to sit down with yourself and answer them, so that you can then use that information to come up with a logo and a brand name that is actually going to translate what is in your heart. That is actually going to ensure that it delivers what you want people to see, what you want people to feel, the emotions that you want people to have when they are engaging with your brand, how you want your brand to be perceived in the marketplace. Logo and brand name, very important. Now that you at least have the basics right and ready, you are now in the correct position to start building an online presence, which means you are in a position now to go out there, because you have got everything that you will need. But you also need to make some decisions. Are you going to be building this online t-shirt printing brand on a website? Are you going to be building this online t-shirt printing brand using an already existing platform or marketplace, because that's another option. If you have a t-shirt printing business online, you can also use marketplaces, even though I must mention that if you go the route of using marketplaces, you do have advantage in terms of exposure, in terms of marketing, because marketplaces are already established brands, but you lose control, you lose a percentage of the profits. So you need to sit down and weigh the figures in terms of, will they make sense for the bottom line? Will you still be able to make a good profit? And I also say that when you go to a marketplace, it's all about numbers. If you are on your own, you have got full control. Let's say you are selling your t-shirt at 10 rand each, right? You have got full control. You are doing your marketing yourself. You are standalone, right? You are using your own website and you infusing social media into that to push more sales, and you are selling, let's say, 10 items every month at 10 rand. That means you are having a revenue of 100. Yes. That means you're having a revenue of 100 rand, right? And you can retain that control and be like, okay, I'm selling 10 units and this is the revenue I'm getting, 100 rand every single month. And then when you go to the marketplace, you sell your items, but at the marketplace, you are able to sell 20 items. You have to part ways with 20%. I'm making an example. You have to part ways with 20%. So you've got 200 rand, you've got 20 items, and your revenue is 200 rand now on the marketplace. So you're able to make 200 rand on the marketplace. On the self-controlled website, you're making 100 rand. So you obviously have a double in terms of revenue, but now you have to go and lose that 20%. 20% of 200 is what? 20 rand. That means you'll be left with 118 revenue. Now look at the profit margin then. Like, you have to sit down with yourself and say, how much profit am I making? Because revenue is something else, profit is something else. Okay, that's not the same thing. There's income, which is revenue, and then there's profit. Those are two different things. Sit down with yourself and look at both these two revenues, the 100 rand and the 180, and look at how much are you making in terms of your profits. If the profit is higher, if the total for the profit that you get is much more on the marketplace, then it would make sense for you to go the route of the marketplace than retaining full control and actually selling less and getting less revenue and getting less profits, But it's an exercise that you need to make as the business person. So now you need to go out into the launch your business into the market. And when you are launching your business into the market, it means you are building an online presence. So use social media. Social media is a free tool. Free, I know you can discuss and debate that, but I choose to say free because you pay for certain things like access to a phone or internet, access to data, things like that. But really, the platform is there for you to use. You can pay for social media. You can go paid social media route, but you don't have to. You can use organic. So there's a lot of options that you can be able to work with right there. But this step is all about launching your business or getting into now the online presence realm. Like, making sure that people know about your business, they know about your brand, they know that you have this thing in the market currently, right? The next thing that you now need to do is to also decide on the pricing structure. It's very important that you know exactly how much will you charge. And there's a basic model that I just teach to everyone who is starting a business or has a business idea, where you start by calculating in order for you to come with a pricing model. There are so many different pricing models that you can be able to use. So many. I will not get into them here. Please go check out my other videos and see when I have covered pricing models in other videos. Now, the basic pricing model that I teach people is basically start with calculating all your expenses. Know how much it has costed you to produce this final product, which is the branded or printed t-shirt, right? Buying the materials, how much film you've used in the machine, buying the t-shirt, whatever else that you need to spend, the packaging that you have to buy, because you want to, when you deliver the product to the customer, to have a personal touch and a personal feel with stickers that are written your brand and a lot in package. There's a lot of relationship that is built through the packaging of a product. Like, it's amazing. So how much did it cost you to do the nice packaging? But it must be affordable at the same time. Like, it must not cause your selling price to shoot up, but it must be really intimate and beautiful. Yeah, it must be receptive to the kind of target audience that you are speaking to. The next thing that you need to do is, once you've calculated all the expenses, now you can either put on a markup percentage so that you can then have a selling price. then you are able to know this is the amount that I will charge to sell this product because it has costed me this much. Now that's the basic approach that you can use to finding your costing model or your costing strategy, your pricing strategy rather. That's what you want to do, to know exactly how much your expenses are and how much you then add as your markup. And then you are able to calculate how much you can charge, you can cost each item, how much you can sell each item for, right? The last thing that you now need to do is to ensure that you finalize the aspect of delivery. How will the t-shirt get to the customer? You need to answer that very intentionally. Now, the final step is to establish how you are going to get the product to the customer. Establishing reliable relationships with courier companies is very important in this regard, because you want to create some kind of a relationship so that you are able to be in control of when your product is picked up right up until when your product is delivered to the client. Like, you want to manage that whole process so that you do not compromise customer service or anything that relates to the customer being compromised. You don't want to have any of that. So yeah, those are the steps that you can be able to follow to start your own online t-shirt printing business. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you have some kind of an idea of designs, of a feel, a brand that you can be able to start in the t-shirt printing space. If you do, drop it in the comment section. And if you have a question, don't hesitate to ask me about it in the comment section, and I will try to get to it as much as I can. And if you are looking for other business ideas, I have them right on this channel. They're under the playlist Make Money Tuesdays. And you can be able to watch some of those so that you're able to see which idea resonates and makes more sense with you. Otherwise, that's all from me for today. Until next time, stay absolutely blessed.